Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the North American Challenger League. I am Rapid. I'm here with Studio, and we are into what is sure to be an interesting game. Let's put it that way. Nice ambiguous qualifier. The bottom lane for CompLexity. I'll throw it over to Studio to discuss this.
All right, I could barely hold it as we were doing the sign out, but that is Chuper on Blitzcrank. That is MIA on Lucian. As a result, we're going to have the reversal swap from the teams. And, you know, do you believe in Chuper's Blitzcrank? Because if there's a time to believe, it's right now. Oh.
Okay, flash in, somewhat anticlimactic. Nothing quite coming out of that just yet, as the grab will miss. 10 seconds left on that cooldown, but a very strong invade here by CompLexity. MIA, man, he's known for his really great hooks, but without the ability to hook anyone, it's up to Chuper to fill that role. TBD, they've got some interesting things going on for themselves as well. Broken Shard in the jungle on that Gragas. It'll be interesting to see how he wants to play this. Only 60 AD, but with 36 ability power there. It's going to start off with just a Hunter's Machete and Health Potion. Same thing for Ninja Ken, who does get to play as Nocturne in this game.
You can tell CompLexity, they're going for an aggressive invade here because Gragas is going to be fairly dependent on blue buff. Gragas does have mana issues just in general in lane. You factor in that he's going to be spending a lot of mana just on body slam. They want to make sure that Gragas doesn't have an easy time getting his own blue buff. The question will be, will CompLexity immediately have Ninja Ken rotate towards their own blue buff to go for the blue buff equalization, or are we going to see just the standard trade for trade? CompLexity, they're going to take that blue buff, and they will be spotted out by Westrice.
Body slam to start things out. It's going to be a red buff start for Broken Shard. Mega Zero is just going to check out the blue buff. Has been awarded out by both teams, so either way, they're going to know about the fate of that buff coming up next. Blitzcrank taking a little bit of a time to get towards the mid lane, where CompLexity will 2v1 Arthalon's Kassadin.
Oh my god, Chuper burning that flash on Kassadin. That's actually huge now, because there's nothing Arthalon can do in lane. Like, it's already a tough lane, but when you have no defensive options, that means if he gets hooked, he's dead no matter what. He's going to be playing so far back. This is horrible for Arthalon. And now the blue buff still going on. You can tell CompLexity is reacting, though.
And Mega Zero is going to get right in there, walk straight into Bubba Dub and Broken Shard. Barrier out there, gets ignited, but will walk away successfully. Broken Shard trying to take him out. First blood taken down, but can Broken Shard get away from this? The answer is no. There's Robert, still pretty excited, but not excited enough. Dodges away from the hook, flashes over the wall. Ninja Ken's right there with red buff, and MIA able to take him down.
A little bit too aggressive from Roberto. It was great play from TBD. They had the numbers disadvantage because it was going to be a 4v3 for a moment there. But luckily, Mega Zero kind of walked in on his own, and TBD punished him hard for it. The problem is, afterwards, Roberto, going for that extended chase, walked into 3 champions. And Jinx, she's not an Ezreal. She's not a Grave. She doesn't have any mobility skills besides her passive. That passive wore off. The excitement killed down. And that was it. There was no good option for Roberto. Still, very, very even in gold, especially with the changes into First Blood gold. However, in terms of minion experience and levels, it's going to be interesting to see if Mega Zero can really stay in his lane. Like, Roberto is not there for a bit, but he missed out on a lot of experience by dying in that river for that First Blood.
Mid lane Arthalon is down to half HP, but if this is any indication of the way that the early game is going to go, there's going to be a lot going on here. Mega Zero taking down to half hit points as well, so 2v1 lanes proving to be very difficult there for those solo laners. The 1v1 up in the top lane is Jintae's Malphite taking on Westrice's Riven. I like that matchup from a defensive stance on Malphite, but it does look like Westrice coming down here, catching out Chuper there, gonna go down there, 1v3s, gets the mana barrier. Is this gonna keep him alive long enough? Still alive, gets ignited, goes down. Westrice, though, the last surviving member up there for TBD, will actually use some cute little jukes there and jumps over the wall with the last tick of Broken Wings.
That brief moment where he sat there, it's like, can he do it? I'm pretty sure he can get over that wall, and just casually juking out at the last second. This is constant aggression. Chuper is going for more of a roaming Blitzcrank build. As a result, MIA is getting a lot of farm mid lane, and he's able to lane very easily versus the Kassadin. Arthalon doesn't have a good response to this. I kind of like this decision. Instead of trying to pressure on Kassadin, it actually Mega Zero takes a lot of damage bot lane. Should be able to walk away from that, though. Instead of focusing down on Kassadin with that Blitzcrank, just send him across the map. You can very easily set up kills for other champions. And even though there's a lot of death going on, CompLexity is still kind of maintaining the map control, maintaining minion wave control.
So a little bit of a downtime after 5 kills in 5 minutes. Game off to a very good start. Westride's going to be pretty happy with his top lane situation, just freezing the lane right outside of his turret. It will finally push on in, but a lot of CS left for him to pick up in the 1v1 matchup. We've got 2v1s elsewhere on the map. Grab onto a minion. Super not able to connect that onto Bubba or Roberto X Lee. Bottom lane Ninja Ken's going to do battle with the white and then look to probably head down towards bottom or stick in the jungle for a level 6. And then that white actually does a whole lot of damage, sending him back to base before he goes back into the jungle. MIA heads back to base himself. Does he have enough gold for the BF sword? The answer is no. Just going to go ahead, grab on up that Vamp Scepter and probably, double Doran's blades as well.
Now, this is something I didn't get a chance to point out during the champion select, but the CompLexity team comp versus Kassadin, it's pretty neat. So, the problem the teams have when they build a comp against a Kassadin is usually there's 1 or 2 squishies. And these are champions at Kassadin. It's like, oh yeah, I'm going to kill them before they can do anything. However, CompLexity doesn't really have squishies. Mundo obviously will be tanky. The only squishy champions will be Blitzcrank, and Blitzcrank actually gets a lot of base defense from his mana shield. And MIA, but MIA will have barrier, MIA will have a lot of life steal. He should be able to survive a Kassadin combo. So as a result, there isn't a good insta-burst target for Arthalon. So it's going to be a lot longer before Arthalon's going to have that same burst potential to chunk someone low compared to normal games. And it's going to make him a lot weaker, more neutered than we saw earlier today, especially with his play. So if CompLexity can take a really good mid-game push, that's when they'll take control of the game, that's when they'll take control of the map.
Holy crap, Jinte has 76 ability power there versus Westrice, but not a lot of defensive stats. As Westrice going in underneath the turret, gets bursted down, the flash out from Jinte. He stays alive, Ninja Ken right there in time, and Westrice with the unsuccessful dive. Battle Bunny Ribbon heads face into the dirt. There's Jinte with a successful kill under his belt. 2-0 there for Nocturne. That's why you don't give that to Ninja Ken. Dive down bottom lane, burst damage onto Chuper as Broken Shard's gonna get in there. Dodges the cleaver out, but probably a little bit of the worst for Where. Gets ignited, will not go down there. It's Mega Zero who will ultimately meet his untimely demise as Broken Shard gets out alive.
And unfortunately, just Chuper, he is still relatively squishy. He's only level 4, having roamed across the map so much. Bubba has taken the experience lead as a support, which, you know, it's not the biggest deal. It's only 1 level, but when you're level 4 Blitzcrank, the base stats just aren't enough. The mana shield is being taken out pretty much by just 1 rocket grab. Now, as for those dives, it's really, really hard for Mega Zero to provide any protection to someone like Chuper, because he can throw out the cleavers, he can keep people in place for a sec, but Broken Shard is mobile with that body slam. Even though it does have a longer cooldown when it doesn't hit someone, he's using that body slam to get in, he's using that body slam to get out. And
right
there
now
goes
is Paranoia in the mid lane. Yeah, immediately Arthalon going down. Zap to land will not hit on Ninja Ken. Neither will that death sentence. Ninja Ken gets out with his 3rd kill of the game. Just going off so far. Doesn't even have any offensive items and still able to get exactly where he needs to go. Ashes to dust to clear out the middle lane with the culling as the first dragon of the game will get taken down by CompLexity, off to a 2-kill, 1 dragon lead over their opponents there in TBD.
Now, really, really good use of the Nocturne ultimate. Normally, Nocturne ultimate, use to start a fight. If you use it just as a finisher for a kill, it has such a long cooldown, you have to make something happen with it. And by immediately rotating first
all in underneath the top turret, Knight goes down once again. The ultimate, but this time it's a 1-for-1 as Westrice finally able to take out Jinte deep underneath his turret.
This is a really funny build from Jinte because it is horrible at staying alive versus Riven. Like Malphite, he's a tanky champion. When he builds tanky items, Roberto actually in a bit of danger.
Oh, Chuper looking for the grab. Robert, can you dodge it? The answer, yes. Zap to follow up, and there's Bubba Dub. Get the play backwards. Chuper in a lot of trouble. Body slam from Broken Shard. Robert X Lee gets excited off of a kill on Chuper.
And he actually had Arthalon teleporting in, canceling the teleport, realizing that there is really no danger and no reason
Not
to
necessary.
be there besides. Like, he could have picked up the kill, I guess, but that was about it. Death Sense does land on the MIA.
Body slam, super mega death rocket, auto attack. Here's the red buff, but always explosive cast through the turret. Broken Shard. Everything in his path's just dying. The jungle Gragas power. 2 kills, 3 assists, and 6 and 6. The score now tied for TBD.
Think about that control, that displacement. I mean, you're dealing with a play, you're dealing with that Gragas, and you still have that Kassadin to take out if you're CompLexity. Like, alright, he's not that scary yet, but They have so much fight control, and especially against a team that has so much tanky DPS that aren't really that mobile after they use their initiation skill. There's so much fight control. Now Westrice in a bit of danger bot lane. Megas are going aggressive.
That bottom. Mega's gonna get in onto that. Westrice does not have his ultimate just yet. I was wondering why he wasn't going for the all-in. That's just because Blade of the Exile not back off cooldown. 1, 2, 1, and there we go. Now if we see that all-in, it's gonna go a little bit differently because, of course, ultimate back up onto Ribbon. Disengage there in the mid lane. Bubba Dub kind of low, looking to go back to base, but does have some regen from Nomad's Medallion if he wants to stay in lane. Finally heading out of there as he strikes a pose. Heading back out. Now it's Arthalon to go up against Jinte. This is where the AP kind of matters a little bit more, as Jinte, out of mana though, very vulnerable to this dive.
Yeah, Arthalon's going to make sure to apply constant pressure, going to constantly bomb out his Null Sphere, because if Jinte ever gets a shield, that's a lot more mana Arthalon has to use, and it's a lot of pressure he loses on control that lane. They do send Broken Shard up there. Trooper is back mid lane. Can he kill from Roberto? Not quite. He's just been so close with so many of these hooks, but they're not landing, and he just keeps dying.
So close and yet so far. He even has that Power Fist on there. Another Death Sentence, though, will land him into the Zap the Flame backwards. There's going to be Flame Choppers, but it's going to be Robert X. Lee. I feel like the grabs work in reverse there for Trooper, because every time he thinks he can grab one, it's actually going to be Explosive Cast there onto MIA, who will go down here, looks for the kill onto Robert X. Lee, cannot find it. It's Broken Shard. Lands his 3rd kill of the game onto MIA.
That is Trooper's 3rd death to that. Like, very specifically, he gets hit by a death sentence, they toss out the choppers, and he just has to sit there and die. Westrice in a bit of danger bot lane. The fear does land, the tether was successful. Westrice getting low. Can he escape this rapid?
Oh, Mega's going under the turret, deep in that pain. Hits him up, takes him down, and Ninja Ken there to get out alive. Body slam in from Broken Shard. Probably not looking for a kill, but will defend that turret as Mega Zero. Ninja Ken disengaged with the kill onto Westrice.
This is an oddly balanced like mismatch of power, because who's strong right now for TBD? A lot of it's going towards Jinx, a lot of it's going towards Gragas. Compare that to CompLexity, where right now it's all Ninja Ken, it's all Mega Zero, as Trooper just having no fun in the mid lane.
Jinte gonna get locked up there by Flame Choppers. Tries to power slam his way out of that turret. Bubba Dub still alive, but not for long. Trooper will die as well. Robert actually cleans it up with a double kill.
So we're going to have a very powerful Nocturne, a very powerful Dr. Mundo, because Mundo's just been sitting there farming nonstop, has a bunch of experience. And we're going to compare that to the very strong Jinx, or the very strong Gragas. And of course, the Arthalon taking Time Bomb just off to the side, farming up what he can. When it comes to CompLexity, they have to start applying some pressure now, because eventually Mundo, yeah, he gets really tanky, he's really hard to kill. He's a very powerful champion. But when you're dealing with so much display, with so much kite and fight control from TBD, he's going to have trouble reaching the back line, and he won't be able to get to Roberto. So CompLexity have to start making plays now, and actually MIA in quite a bit of danger.
Yeah, Broken Shard going in, gets the flash body slam, the slowdown onto MIA. Westrice looking for the kill. There's Super Mega Death Rocket, unable to take it down. It's actually Westrice with the kill onto MIA. Once again, the bottom lane having some issues here for CompLexity, is now a combined total 1 and 9. 12 and 8 to score, though, as, yeah, bottom lane going a little bit better there for TBD. Robert X. Lee, 5, 1, and 4.
75% of CompLexity's deaths are from the bot lane. That is just how this game is going. Now, CompLexity, they're still fine because, actually, they're still fine because that explosive cast will save both Trooper and Ninja Ken. But here comes Arthalon.
Deep underneath the turret, Trooper in a lot of trouble, looking to go down again. Ninja Ken's there to try to keep him alive, but he will fall. Arthalon cleaning it up, and there is actually Westrice there to pick up the last one of those kills. Arthalon hasn't grabbed the kill yet. Support Kassadin with the Rod of Ages first, 0, 1, and 2, but the rest of his team picking up the slack.
Okay, things are no longer fine for CompLexity. There was that moment where it's like, alright, Mega Zero's doing well, Ninja Ken's doing well. If Nocturne can finish that Triforce quickly enough, maybe he can burst down a target. The problem they're running into now is they just have no control over the map. Trooper and MIA are so weak right now that they will get torn apart by anybody. And Ninja Ken, Mega Zero, they can't be all across the map at once. They have to make something big happen with Ninja Ken's next ultimate. They got to pick up a kill, they got to pick up a dragon. It has respawned. So this is the moment for Ninja Ken and Mega Zero to really use their advantage. Jinte also, he hasn't gotten a lot of farm, but he's gotten a lot of kills. So he's got the death cap, or death fire grabs. He can burst down a target very quickly. It is now his time to make a really big presence on the map. His problem, though, is he's just so squishy. Actually, Dragon will be going towards Complexity, pick it up very quickly. So if Jinte can blow someone up, if they can take out a target, then rotate and take an objective, they can get quite a bit done.
Unstoppable force on Robert X Lee. The dive in from Ninja Ken shut down MIA. Now worth gold again, which is somewhat unfortunate. Death Sentence dodged away there by Relentless Pursuit. There's finally a grab landed there by Chuper onto Westrise. Mega Zero coming in. We got Arthlon over the wall, looking to take out Chuper the first as the easy target. There's the Talisman of Ascension Flash getting him away from there. Mega Zero now in a little bit of trouble as there's Broken Wings grab in from Chuper, looking for the kill onto Westrise. Probably not the guy he wanted to grab in there. Westrise stays alive, and Arthlon with the assist wind up taking out both Mega Zero and Chuper.
All right, we have the Chuper blooper for today's game. Oh, that was unfortunate. If it had been a half second earlier, maybe he could have saved his teammate. Maybe he could have actually picked up the kill, but you just that moment where you hook in the ribbon as your teammate dies and there's just nothing you can do, that has just got to sting quite a bit. Arthlon is so powerful now, able to just shred through Chuper. Ninja Ken is still squishy himself because he went for the Triforce build and hasn't quite finished it. Their tanky DPS composition that would actually be quite effective versus Kassadin has not built tanky at all, except for one champion. So, I mean, they're all weak to Kassadin right now, except for Mega Zero. Even then, Mega Zero does go down relatively quickly, not having that much magic resist. This is going to be rough, man.
This just shows you the contrast between now and the way that NACL started off. CompLexity went 9 games undefeated before they finally lost their first game to Coast. And going into today's games, straw poll results revealing that To Be Determined actually favored 73% to just 27% of people who believe that CompLexity can come back. And that just goes to show you losing a lot of Mortis, probably a big hit to their roster. Started out this game kind of backwards for CompLexity style with an early game advantage that they then lost now 16-9 as TBD looked towards Baron. I
mean, well, it's Complexity looking towards it, and they might need to do this. However, they're spotted out, they're forced to retreat. Mundo is an incredibly powerful Baron champion. Bubba if you can land a Death Sense, if they can get Mega Zero, oh, that would have been huge. That could have been a Baron there. Now Arthlon, he's in deep.
There's going to be power, nice grab on Arthlon, takes him down. Arthlon a little bit too overextended. Now Bubba Dub's in danger. Play backwards, will try to keep him safe. MIA gonna get in there. Super Mega Death Rocket and the Ignite. Explosive Cask there from Broken Shard to take out MIA. Almost said Chuper because I expected him to be the ADC, but a little bit different style here for this game. Broken Shards got the ward of the wall, looking for Chuper, Jinte, and Ninja Ken. Could have body slammed over. Will look for the explosive casks. Trying to stop Chuper. No, does not take him out. This should be unstoppable force, or rather just Jinte taking out Westrise. Westrise down. Broken Shard now behind enemy lines. Can he make it through the wall? Yes, we'll make it over. Safe and sound. Disengaging there. In the meantime, Robert X Lee's been taking down that middle turret and will use the extra auto attacks from that switcheroo to take down the second tier mid turret. 3 turrets down, a 1 turret advantage now for TBD.
Broken Shard getting destroyed by Mega Zero, now turns around with the body slam. Arthlon has shown up, can they pick up a kill?
Oh, there's the rocket grab from Chuper. Now the knockup onto Arthlon. Fear will not land as Ninja Ken finally falls there. Robert there to pick up the kill, gets excited. A double kill though for Arthlon. He's starting to find some kills coming his way.
That was a very, very odd setup for TBD. There was just this brief moment where everybody was kind of everywhere, you know. Like you said, Roberto was pushing in mid lane. They had Broken Shard roaming to try and find a pickoff in the jungle. At the same time, Westrise initiated 1v3, so unexpected the 3 part. So it's just a very odd spread out fight for TBD, but they take out the mid turret, they pick up more kills in the end. And this is a very odd game. Now, CompLexity are not out of it. Jinte's at level 11, he's got that DFG. He's building essentially Glass Cannon Malphite. The thing with Glass Cannon Malphite is he's very easy to kill, which might just happen right now, but he has so much burst damage. There's that burst damage.
Going in there, oh my god, yeah, how to commentate burst damage. The idea is that he dies, and that's exactly what happened. Jinte going down, Arthlon almost getting taken out there, but that's Void Stone passive really keeping him in there. 15% damage reduction against all incoming magic damage. In the meantime though, CompLexity, they're doing that Baron thing, and you talked about how quick a Baroner Mega Zero's Dr. Mundo would be, but the teleport in from Arthlon, trying to find a kill, not able to take out Chuper. Baron taking Ninja Ken very low as Robert X Lee picking up a long-range kill with a Super Mega Death Rocket from across the map. MIA gets away, Arthlon finds a kill onto Mega Zero. but it's Broken Shard, grabs the buff, and with a little bit of map hacks, it's a double kill for Arthalon, closing that out. A 4-for-0 exchange. Robert grabs the kill and Baron buff, both from across the map. He's pushing down the bottom lane. TBD looking to close things down.
I mean, CompLexity is showing that try again does not necessarily work if you're doing it with the try again warded Baron. Super now trying to pick off Roberto, doesn't land the hook. Rapid, I think we've reached a point in the game where the very, very diverse composition from TBD with like essentially 3 snowball characters in Jinx, Cass, and Ribbon has snowballed out of most control. They can really come back on this CompLexity can with just a good initiation. But I don't know, man. I don't know, Rapid.
I don't know either. Neither does Ninja. He's gonna flash away, does hit the box slow, and there's an auto attack. Gets Robert X Lee excited. When you're running a 3-threat composition, you really just, your hope is that one of your carries will snowball. And then you have that odd game where all 3 of them snowball. MIA, or Chuper rather, not really sure where he needs to go. There's going to be the all-in onto Robert X Lee. Flashes over the wall, Ignite's going down. Will it be enough? Robert does fall down, and there's the all-in from Jinte, finally working out.
Roberto killed himself by attacking the white. Like, he flashed over the wall, auto-attacked the white, and died to the white's damage. I think he actually needed to lifesteal off the white to survive it, but the thing is, he attacked it right away, and Bubba wasn't in range to tank it, so a little bit unfortunate for Roberto. Ultimate use top lane, try to take down Westrice.
A spell shield will block the stun. Westrice now going to get feared out there. Cleaver will land. Westrice not going to have a good time. Nowhere to go, nowhere to run or hide, and there is going to be the kill. Mega Zero taking him down for his first kill of the game.
Now, that can be the turnaround point. They do have great pickoff potential with Ninja ultimate, with Arthalon stealing that red buff very casually from Ninja. That's got to sting. But the pickoff potential is huge from CompLexity. You know, Malphite with the AP burst, Ninja with his ultimate, and his Triforce build, he actually has very, very high damage. So they can try and play more of a pickoff game, and when I say they can try, it's what they have to do. They're not winning a team fight unless Jinte gets a 5-man ultimate. If Jinte gets a 5-man ultimate, TBD, they gotta feel bad about that one. So if they're going to play this pickoff game, they just got to get that ward coverage out, just look for aggressive invades very briefly to get wards down and stay in the jungle, and with that they can just completely try and change the pace of the game. If they just go for this laning phase, go for more just straight up 5v5s, they're going to get beaten. Just too much displacement from Broken Shard, too much damage from both Westrice, Roberto X Lee, and even Arthalon has the scale to that Kassadin. That scary Kassadin point of the game, picking up a Nashor's Tooth actually.
The Nashor's Tooth, you know, that's one way to play your Kassadin. It kind of synergizes with his Netherblade, but without that Netherblade being maxed, that synergy is going to be somewhat diminished. Now, Mega Zero gonna throw down Sadism immediately, the Ignite to deny a little bit of that extra health coming his way. Westrice will pick up the kill there with the Empowered Wind Slash any second now. There it is, the Execute Westrice. Getting revenge on Mega Zero for killing him earlier on, but now Arthalon going in on Ninja. There's gonna be the Lantern there just to keep Arthalon safe and sound. Rift Walk to grab the kill as Arthalon unstoppable.
Damage from Arthalon's actually insane. The Nashor Tooth, even though he doesn't have his Netherblade maxed out like you said, it's crazy. Look at Chuper just getting destroyed by the auto attack now.
Death Sentence! Oh my god, Chuper gets pulled back. Arthalon dominating. I really like the cooldowns. Oh, the all-in over the wall. There's the DFG. Will it be enough? No, because he got the DFG after the burst damage from Unstoppable Force. So not enough to take out Arthalon. This Void Stone serves him well once again. TBD will take down the first base turret of the game and the first inhibitor as well.
I believe Arthalon was in the fog of war, having just left that top lane after getting that kill. So Jinte just didn't have the time. Mega Zero now going for the aggressive, I don't even know, poke out, and almost being taken down just by standing by his own inhibitor. Ninja use the ultimate, can't chase on Arthalon though. And they take out that inhibitor.
Oh, super mega death rocket. I was worried about Mega Zero for a while there, as 2 megas colliding would most likely result in his untimely demise. Demise for the mid lane inhibitor. Death Sentence there on it. Chuper in the battle of the hooks. It appears as if Bubba Dub is the better hooker, as Chuper falling down there as well. Second inhibitor goes down, and now pretty sure Ninja he's hiding out. He's got his Fortress of Solitude down there in the bottom base turret, and he's gonna be a long wait from his base now as he's looking towards Broken Shard or Robert, just trying to stop them out there. Doesn't even try to spell shield that zap, and there is a dark passageway pulling Broken Shard away to safety.
I was hoping to see TBD try and bait out CompLexity out of their base, so that way Arthalon could teleport behind them with the ward they've placed in there. But now 2 inhibitors down, 15,000 gold lead for TBD. Rapid, I think this might be just short of a done deal. I do not see how CompLexity can come back into this. Jintei doesn't have enough burst damage. Mega0, God bless him. He's tanky, but he's not tanky versus Arthlon. He's not tanky versus Westrice, who now has that Last Whisper to back up his Bloodthirster Brutalizer combo. And just, there are really 4 snowball characters. Gragas can snowball himself quite efficiently as well. And they've all snowballed. They all have a bunch of kills and a bunch of CS and a bunch of gold and a bunch of items to back that up. So there are so many threats for CompLexity to take out at the beginning of a fight. They all deal ridiculously high damage and have ridiculously good control. That I don't know if they would even win a fight with a 5-man Malphite ultimate. It'd probably be a pretty great fight for them. Might come out even, but it would not be like an easy win.
Oh, but now going in, Bubba Dub's got soul, but is he a soldier? Death sentence over the wall will not connect. And that is going to be a failed engage. But Jintei, he's the one looking with death in his eye. A death cap, death fire grasp, a lot of death there. And there is the engage. Blows Broken Shard apart. Good night, sweet prince. Broken Shard. He's out. It's grab over the wall into Arthalon. No burst damage to follow as he will rift walk his way back to safety.
The thing with Kassadin as well is if he starts the Rift Walk, if the animation proceeds, the only way to stop it, I believe, is with a knock-up. Like, even a stun will have trouble interrupting that Rift Walk. The ward survives. The Oracle Sweeper, not quite enough. And the ward that got Arthalon hooked in the first place will carry on. Now, 2 inhibitors down. If TBD wants to finish off the game, they can try and push that bottom turret in and just go for a triple inhibitor push with that. If they want to just go for kills, they can just kind of hang out mid lane and try to pick up anybody who shows up.
They're just gonna hide over this wall repeatedly and just bait them out of the brush. Mega0 throws a trinket and there's a cleaver to stop Arthalon from doing just about anything. He rift walks and then before the rift walk completes, takes the lantern. So not sure how that works out, but either way, gets out.
Trooper. There goes Trooper.
The struggle. So real up there in the top lane. Trooper will fall down there for yet another blooper. Super Minion, the difficulty will finally die. Ninja Ken looking to die there to Westrice, but we'll get some help from Mega0. He flashes the cleaver, tries for the win/kill, can't quite find it, but now on to Mega0. Super Mega Death Rocket will not land, and Mega goes down to the last auto attack from the 320 attack damage Westrice, whose shield is currently giving him a total of 476 health. There's going to be a zap landing on his Jintei, who's going to try to get himself out, culling all over the place. MIA flashes backwards away from the barrel there. Robert actually trying to dive, gets grabbed underneath, double Nexus turrets, gets excited, gets away. Westrice, though, with a rampage on a Ninja Ken, and Jintei's combo's back up. He's got Deathfire Grasp and an Unstoppable Force. Who's going to be his target, and is it going to be Broken Shard? Broken Shard body slamming in. Jintei tries for the kill. Goes for it, gets the all-in, but is it enough? No! Broken Shard survives this time. The Nexus will not be so lucky.
Broken Shard might go down. The Ignite's ticking away. It looks like he will survive. One more. Oh, the last hit picks him up! I feel like that's the CompLexity. As Trooper gets a kill, he gets the shutdown. Can he carry this game? He's getting all the moolah, Rapid. He can win this!
Trooper's gonna get like a pentakill here. I'm not too sure about that. He's going in. The all-in. Support versus support. A triple so far. Can Trooper get the kill onto Bubba Dub? He's got minions to shield him from the Nexus. Crab will not land. The Nexus falls. 39-20 and 11-2 in turrets to be determined. Take the win over CompLexity.